Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage Casey Coleman and Ted Davies.
Hello everyone, welcome back. We hope you had some great sessions this morning. Did everyone get to attend something really awesome? Yeah. I went to the ELC talks on the engagement session. It was awesome. There were some great speakers, a lot of engagement, and so I like the format a lot. Ted?
Hope everybody had a great morning. I certainly hope that you got some latte from the Latte Bar, sponsored by Altamira.
I did.
It's a shameless plug.
Good.
And again, I got a lot of good feedback. Folks had a good morning. We're going to do a little bit now before lunch, and we'll do some awards after lunch. As a start off to that, what we want to do is profile one of the groups that's building some new energy here at ACT-IAC, and one of them that I mentioned earlier today, and that's Nexus. So I'd like to invite two people to the stage. Jonathan Bennett is the government chair, and Jessica Tavasti is the industry chair for Nexus. So come on up on stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for your time and attention. This is really exciting. We are building a next generation of U.S. leadership through a community in ACT-IAC called Nexus. And so my name is Jonathan Bennett. I'm the government chair for Nexus.
And my name's Jessica Tavasti, and I am the industry chair for Nexus. Now, there are 4 pillars that Nexus is built on. And if you guys see these pins going around, and if you haven't, and if you need one, you can reach out to me. But there are really 4 pillars, and our mission is building the next generation of U.S. leaders. And this is based on 4 different aspects.
Next slide, please.
Okay. There we go. I didn't realize.
So, as we mentioned, our mission statement, we are here to connect. We're building a trusted, collaborative network among U.S. leadership and the generations we serve.
And we develop leadership skills to help our community navigate to the next level of their career through professional development and focused events.
We're learning together and from each other so that we can serve government, make government great, and serve our communities.
And we grow professionally through community service and the opportunity for thought leadership.
And finally, we're leading. We're leading amongst each other. We're getting opportunities to lead teams, and we're building those leadership skills among the Nexus community.
Next slide. So how is Nexus building the next generation of U.S. leaders? And there's really several different ways to get engaged. The first one is quarterly events, which are focused on building on professional development activities. We do community service by pairing with the volunteer corps. And just like the rest of ACT-IAC, Nexus is built on a partnership between industry and government.
Yep. Many of you came out a couple weeks ago. We had a mentoring event called a Mentor Match. Thank you so much. We're going to have those in the future. We're connecting mentors and mentees. We have events focused on thought leadership and engagement. Many of the leadership executive committee members have come out and done some fireside chats with us. Thanks, Renee. And networking for a purpose, right? We're all networking to build better relationships and understand, but we're here networking for a purpose. We're getting out, we're building community, and we're having fun. We're going to baseball games together, so we're having fun while we're doing that. Next slide, please.
So we are looking for the rising stars in your organization, in your agency, and in your company to get involved in Nexus. So if you're interested in learning more, there are a few different ways. First of all, we do have a monthly newsletter that comes out every other month. You can sign up for that on the ACT-IAC Nexus website.
And we have events, quarterly events and special events. Our next one's November 9th. It's going to be developing a vision and goals for your career. Please check the website, come on out and help us support that. And also a half-day event called Enhancing Your Leadership Toolkit. A really exciting lineup for both rising stars and senior executives alike. So check it out.
Next slide.
Next slide.
So if you are this evening at 8:30, we are actually hosting a happy hour, and all are invited. Whether you personally want to get involved in Nexus, or if somebody in your organization or agency want to get involved.
So come out, have some fun with us. We'll have Monday Night Football on. We're going to have some tailgating games. We're going to have some music, and like I said, you're going to come get a chance to meet some of the Nexus members, and also for us to get a chance to talk to you about what those rising stars in your organization would be good in the Nexus community. So it's a recruiting event. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jonathan. As many of you know, this is the last year for ELC in Williamsburg. We have something new and exciting in store for 2018. But before we talk about next year, we would like to take a look back at all the ELCs in Williamsburg. Our friends at Government Matters put together a special video for us to take a look and remember. Let's watch.
From Washington, D.C. and around the world, this is Government Matters with Francis Rose.
Thanks for watching this special edition of Government Matters from the 27th Annual Executive Leadership Conference. I'm Francis Rose.
And I'm Colby Hockmuth. We live in a time of unprecedented change in government, especially in the area of emerging technologies.
For this audience, it's imperative to harness that change in order to make government more effective, more secure, and more responsive to the citizens it serves.
This year, ELC calls this approach Mission Possible. It's an evolution reflected by the conference itself and the wonderful team that pulls it all together.
Here's a look back at the past decade of ELC. 2016 was the year of #Change Agents with chairs David Bray and Teresa Bozelli.
In 2015, chairs Tony Bardo and Steve Cooper called for Government 2020, Imagine the Possibilities.
The theme for 2014 was Leadership and Innovation in Radically Changing Times, chaired by Kathy Coles and Adrian Gardner.
2013, Margie Graves and Paul Strasser were driving results in a 21st century government, leveraging new technologies and data for mission success.
2012 was Charting a Course, chaired by Ted Davies and Casey Coleman. Hurricane Sandy struck that year, forcing Williamsburg to close.
The year 2011 called for Architecting the Future through Innovation, Mobility, and Trust, with Lee Holcomb and Chris Smith at the helm.
In 2010, Dave McClure and Kathy Conrad chaired ELC, the theme Delivering Transformation.
Lisa Schlosser and Diana Gowan opened a new era of innovation in 2009.
And in 2008, Ann Altman and Bob Howard sat us on the edge of opportunity.
10 years ago, Apple released the first iPhone, and Jim Williams' hair was already white when he chaired ELC with Cindy Kendall, leveraging the perfect storm for government success. 2006 was the first year ELC met in Williamsburg, Virginia. 2017 will be the last in this historic town. More on that evolution later from this year's chairs, Ted Davies, Casey Coleman, and Renee Wynn.
Earlier, we mentioned that this is the 27th annual ELC. It's been quite a run, and we don't have pictures from all of them. But I'd like to share one more and bring this special edition of Government Matters to a close. Please join us in a round of applause and recognition for the chair of the first ELC in 1991, the founder of Government Computer News and federal IT visionary, the late Izzy Feldman.
That was a great look back over the years and a wonderful tribute to the ELC founder, Izzy Feldman. As you're eating, you'll see some of the rolling pictures of this year's golf tournament and other activities, as well as some more pictures from past ELCs. Now we'd like to invite Ken Allen to the stage.
Thank you, sir. I want to just take a moment because there are a lot of folks in this room who don't know who Izzy Feldman was, perhaps. We have a lot of new faces. And this is a community in which, at the end of the day, our success is based on the relationships we build and the people we know. In its tribute to Izzy Feldman, Federal Computer Week stated he was a man who shaped and defined what we now think of as the government technology community. And he brought to our arena an understanding of government and the marketplace. He also had a long-time commitment to improving government industry communications. He founded Government Computer News, now GCN. He also had a hand in shaping the Federal CIO Council. Perhaps more importantly, Izzy is the reason that we are here today. He played a major role in the creation of the Industry Advisory Council. And in fact, he was our chair of the Industry Advisory Council for 5 years. He believed there was a need for an objective and trusted forum where government and industry colleagues could work together. He was also the driving force behind the creation of the Executive Leadership Conference. And that first conference was held in Richmond, Virginia, many, many years ago. So it is a tribute to his vision that we are still hosting ELC in 27, and that we plan to do so for many years to come. It's safe to say, if you knew Izzy, that you would not describe him as a shy person. He had a dominant personality and could be somewhat demanding at times. You certainly were never in doubt as to what Izzy thought. But he had a vision and a passion that could not be denied. He will be missed. We lost another pioneer of our industry this week that I want to mention, and that was Jim Obendorfer of IBM, who passed away. Jim was a member of our community for over 50 years. He watched it evolve from punch cards to the iPhone and the cloud. After graduating from West Point, Jim served in the Army, and among other assignments, he was in charge of all NATO cryptologic communications. After the Army, he went to IBM, where he held a variety of positions, from field engineer to branch manager. Over the ensuing years, he worked for IBM and a number of other companies. Jim, his biography is only part of the story, though. Throughout his career, Jim was a great believer in collaboration and the idea we can achieve better outcomes by working together. He was an active member of AFCIA, ITAA, and ACT-IAC, both a member and a leader. He was a member of the IAC Executive Committee. And in fact, in 2005, he helped create the process when we moved from Hershey to Williamsburg on how we were going to squeeze 1,000 people from the ELC that year into 800 this year. It took a creative and imaginative engineer to do that, and it was successful. He was a man of integrity who strived to do his best at all times. Quieter than certainly Izzy was, he was quiet, courteous, and treated everyone with respect. He was a true gentleman and a prince among men. He will be missed. On a personal note, I want to say that I had the honor of knowing both these gentlemen. I met Jim Obendorfer when I came to work for ACT-IAC over 12 years ago, and he was always a gentleman willing to offer advice, assistance, and mentorship. My relationship with Izzy went a little farther back. In 1979, I met Izzy when he was working for the federal government, and President Carter decided to reorganize the government. He put together a team of 60 folks, and Izzy and I worked on that. Technology has changed since 1979, but I think I don't know if you'll be disappointed or what, the issues were exactly the same: acquisition, security, standards, and people. We wouldn't be here today without these individuals who helped create the community we belong to. But they are a tribute, even as the face has changed, that what we do every day and throughout the year to build those relationships based on trust will ultimately produce a better government for the American people. So thank you and enjoy your lunch.